Good evening. You fix you another bowl? You greedy teenager. I'd like to take the time to welcome everybody to another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center broadcast. I'm your host, me. And I think God really been dealing with us about growth and cutting things off. Uh, so we're going to name this one a Suddenly series. And what many of got to understand is that Josiah, stop rocking that chair, it's gonna break. Many of us got to understand we can no longer operate in the things of God, but yet refuse to harness nor connect with his power. And a lot of us are missing the power of God because we're holding on to things, people, or places that is dear to our heart. So today we're going to be in Joshua chapter 7. All right. And the title is Sin in the Camp. Sin in the Camp. Watch this. Understanding that it's Joshua chapter 7 is not a misnomer or not a mistake that it's the seventh chapter. Because 7 always talks about a cycle. And here we're going to see that by one person's misdeed, one person lie, one person's selfishness, one person pride, they prevent everyone else from receiving their blessings. So this is a season that the people that you hold dear to you, not only do you have to hold yourself accountable, you got to hold them accountable. And you better not be slight of words. Joshua chapter 7, verse 1 said, but the children of Israel, committed a trespass in the accursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmel, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. Now, I ain't got time to start all the way from the front because I got to start what God told me to. But you understand, Joshua was defeating all the armies. And how we get to taking to a curse thing, if you read chapter 6, Joshua went into a battle, and God's instructions was to destroy utterly everything, and everything of value, destroy it too. But what happened in the battle, Achan took of the precious stuff that God said he wanted everything gone. So that's how we get to chapter 7. Now that the Lord anger is kindled against the children of Israel. So here we are in verse 1. And they said Achan did it. But watch what the scripture allows you to understand. It said Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zebedee, the son of Zerah, the tribe of Judah. So what happened when Achan took of the cursed things? He cursed 3 generations and a nationality, the tribe of Judah. That's why it kept saying the son of this, the son of this, the son of that. You got to understand that a lot of you, God is putting in a position to be curse breakers. But the reason you're having trouble breaking the curse, the same thing God dealt with your forefathers not to touch, that's what you touch. And therefore, as long as you touching it, the curse of your generation still stands. Watch this, verse 2. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is besides Bethaven, on the east side of Bethel, and spake of them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the man went up and viewed Ai. And they returned to Joshua and said to him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So they went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. So if you study the Bible, it wasn't that many people of Ai. And Ai was small people. Joshua was like they was like giants over the people of Ai. So what happened, because Joshua was finna take the children of Israel into battle, he said, let me go spy the land. You got to understand, in this season, hear me and hear me good. If God happened to show me something that you're doing, I'm going to get on you right then and there. Because when we talk about is that sin in the camp, you got to realize, by many of you being connected to me, whether through mentoring, listening to my message daily, or sowing into the ministry, or whatever you want to call it, when you get in sin and I don't call it out, it becomes my sin. I don't need nobody else's sin. I done fought through enough of mine. So what happened, they went up and seen how small the inhabitants of Ai were. So what did they do? They became overconfident. He told Joshua, we don't even need all the men for them. Just give us a few. We'll whip these with no problem. See, the problem with some of you, what you think is small in your eyes is big in God's eyes. Haven't y'all noticed the past couple of weeks when y'all did the little smallest thing, I immediately say something to you? I immediately try to correct you. Because what has happened, because some of you have a reprobate relationship with God, you think you can continue in sin and God not begin to stop you to come out of sin. Which means a lot of things that I tended to overlook, I can't overlook in this season because he don't want you to have a reprobate mind about God allowing you to sin. Y'all understand that? So what happened? They got cocky. They got prideful. They got beside themselves. You know what they thought? They got to the point that they thought they was the GOAT. That's what they thought. Listen here. You're never the GOAT. Because God always have somebody to replace who you are. And see, when you think you the GOAT, which means you walk around in your pride like you kissing God in the mouth, sometimes he have to knock you down by not paying attention to who you have around you. So here in verse 4, Joshua didn't take the whole army. They said they took about 3,000 men and went after Ai. But watch this. And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, for they chased them from before the gate even to Shebron, and smote them in the going down, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the evening time, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their head. See, watch this. A lot of the things that many of you going through, they can be easily defeated. But because you taking it for granted, and what we see here, those little men whooped Joshua. They had Joshua and them running. Joshua Watch what's happened. Joshua, his mistake, number one, was he became so confident in his relationship with God that he thought he can never lose. If you're a leader, as a leader, it's important that you take account of everybody around you to see if it's any sin in the camp, to see if anything is not lining up with God. Because for a person like me to take you into a battle, which means traveling and preaching on a tent revival, and I know you got sin in you, I'm defeated before I even started. See, Joshua was confident in his relationship with God, which made him confident in the people that's following him. You got to understand, sometimes the people following you are not following you in the spirit of God. They following you because of your God language. That's why. So Joshua rent his coat, which means Joshua tore his clothes. God, them little men done whooped us. God, we done beat everybody. Everybody for more powerful than why these little men. That's because that's what's wrong with a lot of y'all. That little sin still kicking your butt. Just a little bit of that Tito's vodka. Just a little bit of puff off of that vape. Just a little bit more joint. Just a little bit more Laura tabs. Just a little bit more cigarettes. And everything that you say a little bit more is killing you a whole lot more. You need to look at your life. And when you look at your life, you got to say, God, what do I need to get rid of? But the reason a lot of us don't want to get rid of certain things is because of the value that we have attached to those things. See, that's why I say everybody ain't like me. I don't value nothing. I don't even value my life. It don't mean nothing to me. Why you value your life? The Bible already put me in perspective. He said your life is nothing but a vapor. I can stop this. I can stop preaching on this video, leaning back in my chair and die. Vapor. I can crank up my truck, go get me something to eat, finish eating, die. Vapor. That's why he say, take no thought for what you're going to do tomorrow. Stop saying I'll see you tomorrow. How you know you're going to make it past the night? It's a lot of people, how these black folks said, it's a lot of people woke up dead that thought they were going to make it to see the day. See, you got, my mindset is I don't take life for granted and I don't even respect my life because when it's my time to go, it's gone. And Joshua said, alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorite, to destroy us? Would to God we had been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turned their back before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us around, and cut off our name from the earth. And what would thou do unto thy great name? See, because it was sin in the camp, and Joshua lost, now Joshua saying, God, we serving you, God. We beat all these people, God. You brought us always over here to let us lose to these little Aites. And they whooped our tail, Lord. What you gonna do about your name, Lord? See, watch this. Confident in when you too confident in yourself, God will always put you in a position to knock you right back down. He'll knock you down. See, Ain't nothing wrong with having a relationship with God, but never take your relationship with God prideful. And what I mean by prideful, thinking just because you got a good relationship with God that He won't send you through another trial and another trial. And watch this, maybe some of the worst trials of your life. Because that's what happened here to Joshua. That whipping them little AIs put on Joshua, that was the worst fight he ever had. He said, I'd rather you kept us on the other side of Jordan to bring us over here and lose to some AIs. Be careful of who you look down to. I don't care how long you know God. Relationship with God does not equate knowledge of God. People like to brag. I've been preaching for 20 years. I've been preaching for 40 years, and you've been dumb for 40 years. Because when you hear them teach, they don't have no revelation of the word. All they have is inquiries of the word. So watch this. Stop looking down on people because maybe they ain't got what you ain't got. And better yet, stop looking up to people who got what you ain't got and what you want. You got to be content. Whether you looking up in pride or you looking down in what's the word I'm gonna use? In poverty. Verse 12, verse 11. No, 10. And the Lord said to Joshua, get thee up, wherefore thou this upon thy face? Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenants, which I commanded them. For they have taken of the cursed thing, and have also stolen, and disassembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore, the children of Israel cannot stand before their enemies, but turn their backs before their enemy because they were accursed. Neither would I be with you anymore, except you destroy the accursed from among you. Y'all hear what he say? So watch this. In this season, I got to be better than Joshua. See what happened? Joshua had such a great relationship with God, he never inquired of God about the people around him. Had he inquired about the people around him, God would have told him that Achan stole something. So while he was down there, begging, pleading, and fasting to God, God said, get your butt up. That's what's wrong with a lot of y'all. Y'all sitting around now fasting, you're giving, you crying out to God, and he trying to tell you to get up. You curse. I don't hear your prayers. The Bible say that. He said when you don't obey his commandments, your prayers are an abomination to him. So here, being a leader, Joshua should take inventory of the people he leads. So that's why God have been allowing me to be hard. Well, I ain't gonna say hard. He had allowed me to be more consistent with people who do things in the dark and you think God don't see them. Because he told me, unlike Joshua, he said, I got to hold you accountable for what they do. Because they're in a position that they need to grow up. And if they can't grow up, how can you go further? See, it ain't meant for me to just sit around here and just do live stream to help all y'all. Brother Hubbard's supposed to be on that road. Listen here. I got my trailer hitch coming tomorrow for the new truck. When I go into that doctor office Wednesday, I got that ministry trailer behind me. We going up the South Carolina. And we're going to set that tent up. But see, what's wrong with a lot of people, you want to hold on to the cursed thing. And as a result of you holding on to the cursed thing and try to hide it, God got to expose it. So here, God had to tell Joshua that they stole. See, when God tell you don't do something and you do it anyway, to him, that's stealing. Why is it stealing? Because God will give you whatever you want. But because y'all can't wait on God to get you right, to give you what you want, you hold on to the accursed thing. You holding on to pride, huh? Some of y'all lying about how much money you got. Where is that? How God gonna bless you in sin? That's what I'm just trying to tell y'all. You holding on to sin. Some of you, I got somebody I'm dealing with now. They got a friend in the family. They just lie just to get money. They just make up stuff. So much so they'll sabotage their own car just to get money. I got one that I'm trying to help. Prostituting to get money. See, what happens when y'all sit here and y'all go to all these different churches, all these different prophets, and y'all give y'all money, y'all let them lay hands on you, don't you know you taking of the accursed thing? See, that's why a lot of your finances cursed now. That's why you can't get ahead. Because you didn't gave the prophets that you know were lying to you. You gave to prophets that never really help you. See, anybody can give a word of knowledge and wisdom for your situation, but it takes a God-ordained prophet to tell you why you're going through that situation and how to get out because they care about you. So here, the reason why Ai defeated the armies of Joshua because they had taken the cursed thing. See, the reason when your life ain't going right, the reason your relationships ain't going right, the reason your marriage is in trouble is because a lot of you have taken of the accursed thing and you trying to place it before God. It ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. So here in verse 13, God gave Joshua instructions. He said, up, sanctify the people, and say, sanctify yourself against tomorrow. For thus said the Lord God, there is a cursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel, there cannot stand before thy enemies until you take away the accursed thing from among you. See, watch this. Because Achan stole what God told him to destroy, Achan theft cursed the whole nation. And God said, the only way you're going to get over this if you destroy the thing that he took. He said, destroy the accursed from among you. So he said, sanctify yourself. Watch this. A lot of y'all got sin in the camp. Plenty of you. Hidden sin, unknown sin, that sin, this sin, her sin, my sin, your sin. But the sin that is destroying you is the sin that you can see. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? You destroying yourself. Because all the small things that you chose to look over have become an abomination to who you are in God. And therefore, when you pray, you're not praying to God, you're listening to a familiar spirit. What's the familiar spirit? Yourself. Meaning your flesh telling you things to feed your flesh, to make you feel good about the decision, because your flesh is your God. Your flesh is speaking to you saying God, because he know that the flesh in control. Verse 14. In the morning, therefore you shall be brought according to your tribes. And it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which the Lord shall take come by household, and the household which the Lord shall take shall come man by man. See, God is trying to line you up in a position to get blessed. Because see, suddenly a lot of y'all finna get blessed. But before he bless you, he got to make sure that that sin that occurs to you, he has to destroy that. So watch how he does it. He said you got to come by tribe, and that tribe got to come by families, and that family got to come by household, and then that household got to come man by man. What is God saying? It's time for you to look in your generation and say, okay, God, what do I have to deal with to get this curse off of my family? Verse 15. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he have, because he have transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he have wrought folly in Israel. Hey, church folks, y'all keep saying God is a God of love. Do you just hear what God said in verse 15? God said he gonna burn him and everything he has with fire. Does that sound like love to you? He said he and everything he has. See, the reason God trying to get y'all to a mindset to look like you losing everything you got, because whatever you hold on to, that's what he wants. What I mean by that, if you think you losing your mind, you doing everything but going to the hospital. Pride. If you losing your marriage, and ain't nothing going right, but you still there, you know what God want? What's holding it together? Same thing. Pride. You got a point that you ain't got no money. You losing everything you got. And now you always thinking of how you can make money, where you can make money. Pride. God after your pride in this season. Listen here. I told y'all we bought groceries today for somebody. But the first thing is that this person did when they seen it, I can hear the tears of joy. But the first thing they said, I can't take this from you, but you need it. I said, don't block your blessing. You know what got destroyed? Pride. See, the reason a lot of you can't move in what God wants you to move to, you too prideful. See, people, you don't want people to know that you barely making it. You don't want people to know that you really don't hear the voice of God. You don't want people to know that really you the problem. So what we do, we put on pride and say, I'm just waiting on God. No, God say, I'm waiting on you to get rid of that pride. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribe. And the tribe of Judah was taken. And he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zarhites, and he brought the families of the Zarhite man by man, and Zabadi was taken. And he brought his household man by man, and Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabadi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah was taken. See, God gonna get you to lose your pride one way or another. He don't care if he got to strip you down butt naked. That pride gonna leave in this season. He don't care if you won't have $2 to your name and gas $3.48. He gonna break you of being money hungry. See, that's an evil person. To have money in a position to help somebody, but let them struggle. That's an evil SOB there. That's evil. Why is it evil? Because pride is no more than selfishness hid. Pride is selfishness hid. That's all it is. I ain't thinking about you. We too selfish. See, watch this. A lot of families blessing hold up because somebody in that family selfish. But you may be the one that the wealth got to flow through, but because you selfish, you blocking the wealth of everybody else. I'm hearing. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto me, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord God of Israel, and thus have I done. When I seen among the spoils a godly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I covered them and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. See, you know the real reason God is not really releasing finances just yet. It's because y'all want fancy stuff. See, I told y'all God finna release finances, but it's only for people who got a kingdom mind. See, you want God to bless you with finances, but all you thinking about, I'm gonna get this Louis Vuitton purse, I'm gonna get this Gucci suit, I'm gonna get me, I'm gonna get this Balenciaga outfit, I'm gonna go buy me a Mercedes S320. God ain't gonna give you no money. See what happens? The church has y'all mesmerized with things because they really ain't living by the Bible. If the Bible said, take no thought for what you wear, what you eat, how you live, or what you drink, Why would I stand up and give a testimony and say God bless me with a house? Make it make sense. Why would I get up and say God bless us so good? We eat fine dining every night. We let's come to agreement that God won't go against his word. So if the word said take no thought for where you stay, why would God just bless you with a house? Now, I give you houses you did not build. Watch this. He never said what kind of house. See, suppose the house he was talking about, I'm going to get you a set of apartments. You stay in them apartments. But no, you want to rent apartments out and go build you a $400,000 house. Because see what happens to a lot of us, when God bless us, we forget God. And for many of you, you only believe God for what you can see. If you don't see it, you don't believe it. So what happened? Joshua sent the people to get the stuff out of Achan tent. And when he got the stuff out of Achan tent, verse 24, and Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver and the garment and the wedge of gold, and his sons and his daughter, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. One person sinned because he was greedy. Do you see what I just said? The sons and the daughter didn't have nothing to do with it. The clothes didn't even have nothing to do. The oxen and the asses and the sheep didn't have nothing to do with it. But watch verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee. And all Israel stoned him with stone and burned them with fire. And after they had stoned them with stone, because Achan was greedy, because Achan was selfish, because Achan was prideful, he got his sons killed, daughters killed, the darn asses, the sheep, the oxen, even the darn tent. What the tent had to do with it? God becomes heartless when you don't obey a specific command, because that was heartless. So how many of you killing your whole family because you refuse to do what God tell you to do? That's why your car always breaking down. That's why that's why the eye on the stove stay out. One of the eyes stay out. That's why you stay sick. That's why you never have no money. That's why you always get in it to people. That's why your relationships all messed up. A lot of y'all selfish. Watch this. I think I've been preaching for going on 16 years now. 16 years. Help plenty of people. Ask me how many times somebody came and saw about me. That's what that was about. See, Joshua was so busy winning that he didn't take the time to say, okay, let me see if all the people with me on one accord. Sin only comes into account when there's a weak link. So when God told me this season, he said, any sin that you don't speak on, I'm holding you accountable. And I'm here to tell you, I ain't finna lose my money. I ain't finna lose my trucks. I ain't finna lose preaching, messing with nobody who don't want to do right. One time, you keep on, guess what? It's off me. See, once again, for many of you, why you think every little thing you do, I say something. But watch this. I say something to them, but they get discouraged. They get upset. Dog God, that means you have no relationship with God. The Bible says he chastised them I love. So when God's showing his love by pouring out what you're doing, you mad at God for pouring it out because you like that accursed thing. So before I let God burn everything I have by not checking to see who ain't doing right, I'm going to tell you, God finna get you, and I'm going to leave it alone. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna be, you call my phone, be just like Joshua. Why you troubling me? I already told you what God said. Click. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Verse 26, and they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day, so that the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor until this day. Y'all see what it said? The fierceness of his anger. See, if all you preaching is God is a God of love, that's a one-sided God. God has a fierce anger. I didn't seen it. I didn't see it. Somebody messed around and did something to me, and I ain't do nothing to them, and I seen what happened. I knew why. They didn't understand. But I said, oh well, sin in the camp. Watch this. A lot of you need to really do some sackcloth and ashes. All this cute fasting y'all doing, that's a routine. You know why? Because it hasn't got you no closer to God. No closer to God. Intermittent fasting is not fasting. Nah, because it's not like that. Typing something. Because anything you need to do to get close to God is in the Bible. Isaiah 56, 58, 6 and 11. Y'all want to go there? Let's watch this. Isaiah 58, we're going to start at verse. It said, this God, he said, is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the band of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to their house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not themselves from thy own flesh, then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health, watch this, thy health shall spring forward speedily, and thy righteously shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. You don't fast to lose weight. You don't fast to hear God. God said you fast to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry? It ain't for you to fast for 3 days and then you come off, ooh, I'm hungry. Let me go get me a steak. Let me go get this. Let me go get that. And thou that bring the poor that cast out to their house, you don't fast to get no house. When thou seest the naked, you don't fast for God to show you somebody else sin. Are you stupid? But people fast for stuff like that. And thou hide not thyself for their own flesh. You fast to deliver you. The bands of wickedness, you know that hidden pride you got, that selfishness you got, that deplorable mouth you got. Heavy burdens. God, why am I always, God, why I'm so angry? Go on a fast. I ain't talking about church fast. I'm talking about sitting, watch this. I'm talking about the kind of fast that you don't fast till you hear God tell you to fast. Verse 8 is key. See, they tell y'all, oh, I take medicine. I can't do just a water fast. I got to do a juice fast. What verse 8 say? And thy health shall spring forth speedily. If you fast according to the way God tell you fast, God don't care about you got to take pills. God don't care about how many shots you got to get because he got the power to heal you in your fast. And it says speedily. That means he don't waste time. But the problem is, don't nobody know how to fast. Ain't no such thing as no Daniel fast. He didn't say Daniel fast is the fast I chosen. He said, is not this the fast I chosen? Watch this. Let me go back up there. Let me go see something. I think I need to see something before I let it go. Let me see where it's at. Isaiah. I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. Don't miss a word. We're going to start at verse 1. We missed it. Isaiah 58:1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin. See, when you going on a fast, you don't go on a fast to get away from people. You go on a fast, God, show me. What I said, can you handle you a couple of days ago? See, when God show you, then that's the kind of fast he put you on. That's where, is this not the fast I chose you? See, he ain't gonna tell you to go on a fast to get your body under subjection, but you still got a sneaky link on speed dial. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight to approaching to God. Wherefore we have fasted, say they, and thou seest not. See, the reason y'all going to fast and you really don't see nothing is because of verse 2. Y'all praying for God to answer y'all, and y'all ain't and everything God had told y'all to do, you do what you want to do. So now when you don't hear him, you want to go on a fast, but the fast ain't no good because you fasting out of order. See, you got to obey God before you go on a fast. See, you can't go on a fast seeking justice. Watch this. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not. See, watch this. God, release me from this anger. Release me from this job. Release me from this relationship. Release me from this marriage. God sitting there like this him. Didn't I tell you to do such and such 3 weeks ago? 5 years ago? Say, okay, keep on praying. Oh God, I want you to bless me. I want you to bless me. Okay then. But you seen somebody that need help and you didn't want to help them, but you want to bless you with more. See, y'all got God messed up. That's why 2024, the season of the reprobated mind. Y'all think y'all listen to God. Y'all listen to familiar spirits. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge. Behold, in the day of your fast, you find pleasure and exact all your labor. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. See, watch this. Y'all don't fast to get out of net. You fast to hear the voice of God. Y'all want to go on a fast to break free. And he just told you, you don't fast for strife and debate. Well, I'm going to show you God going to get you. I'm going to go on a fast and God going to, huh? God ain't no pit bull. He ain't trained. You can't say get him and he going to get you. Verse 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for man to afflict his soul. See, watch this. If the only thing that you think about is that you hungry in the fast, doing the fast, and after you come out the fast, you ain't fasted. Because God said when you really fast, it gonna afflict your soul. What that means, you gonna feel it in your spirit. And when your spirit man gets strong, your spirit man don't care about food. Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and accept the day of the Lord? See, y'all done went into these churches and they say we're going to do a Daniel fast. And Daniel went fast, and the Bible said Daniel was in mourning. So number one, that wasn't even no fast. So everything you ever heard with a Daniel fast, it wasn't God. It was a familiar spirit. It was your flesh thinking that's God. But I seen this, I seen that. Like the devil can't make you see this and say that. Don't underestimate the devil. He got more power than what you think. So watch this. If a fast don't afflict your soul, all you doing is going on a hunger strike. You might as well eat. You fasted because you mad at somebody. It's sin in the camp. And in order to hear God in his purest form, y'all need to clean this out. When I go on a fast, when God tell me, I don't worry about taking my pills. I don't worry about whatever else I got to do. Because if I'm obedient to God, whatever my body going through, he gonna heal it anyway. But until many of you deal with you, that nasty mouth you got, that hateful attitude, that stinginess, that pride, that self-deception, that lack of confidence, that need to not be alone, you'll never reach the relationship that you need in God. Because I just told y'all the previous message, it's all in him. And he trying to bring you close to him, but y'all can't let it go. See, y'all like going out with your little girlfriends and all y'all buy the same outfit, and you ain't got no panties on, and you out there just shaking that thing, and then here come the man, everybody got their Jordans on, and you flashing them dollars. Got to get rid of that whole spirit. Harlots is what they is. Watch this. And for some of you, you don't even care how you look no more. You know why? Because your spirit man matching your personality. Because when you learn God in tradition and religion, you get in a cycle. And the cycle shows through who you are. I went through that through a season. Huh? God told me I was depressed and didn't even know it. I wouldn't take no bath. All I do, wake up, put on deodorant, and go on that. And the sad thing about it, I was still pulling the guns. But that says something about me. And what I choose to pull, well, evidently they weren't working that either. You got to be confident. And see, a lot of y'all trying to get away from something that's the only thing that's going to protect you. Y'all see that man down in Atlanta? Shot his wife, burnt a car, buried her body. But when I seen that video, I said the husband did it. 3 days later, they said the husband did it. I knew he did it. Then the other lady and her child disappeared. They don't know where they at yet. One thing for certain, two things for sure. You better really know you hear God to leave a relationship and get in one. Because what's out here now, it's like shooting dice. Hard not 7. That 7 come up, that's a cycle. They might cut your life out. You see how these men killing these women? How these women killing these men? And then when they take the mug shot, they smiling on them. They smiling on them. That's why you got to make sure that your spirit man agrees with God's spirit man, and then you'll hear God what he really got to say. All right, y'all be blessed. Have a good